Welcome to the Arbitrary YouTube channel. Today we'll be learning how to make this beautiful asymmetric peplum. It's very simple to make and it is beginner friendly. If this is what you would like to learn, kindly stay tuned till the end of this tutorial. Thank you.
Okay, so to make this asymmetric peplum, we'll be working with our waist and our peplum length measurement. The waist I'm working with is 30 inches and the length of the peplum is 8 inches. Okay, so because the peplum is actually pleated, I want some pleats around the waist area, so I'll be adding around 10 inches to the waist, or as desired depending on how much pleats you want, but I'll be adding 10 to this and I'll have 40 inches as my new waist circumference measurement. Okay, so to get the radius for my waist now, I'll be dividing this by 6.28, which is a constant. I have a video on how you can do this because this is a full circle, so we'll be dividing it by this, and this is going to give me around 6.4 or thereabouts, which I'm going to be approximating to 6.5. okay, so to know the amount of fabric that I will need to fold for this, that will be my radius plus length, and I know my radius to be 6.5 and my length to be 8 inches, which is this with allowance. So this is going to give me around 14.5, and I'm going to approximate this to 15 also. So it is this 15 inches that I'm going to be using to know the amount of fabric that I will need. Okay, so I'll be folding my fabric using this 15 inches measurement that I got, which is my length. So unfold here now, my fabric is unfold by 4, like I want to cut a flare, and each side is 15 inches, you can see. So once I open it up like this, I'll have 30 inches in length. Okay, so this is 30 inches, and if I open this also, this is also 15 inches in length, and if I open it, I'll have 30 inches. So this is 30 inches. I'll have a perfect square of 30 inches. So let me try to replicate this now. So this means that I have 30 inches here, 30 here, 30 here, and 30 here, which by the time I'm folding into two, remember for a flare I'm going to be folding this into 4. So each of my 30 inches now, if I fold this side like this, it means I have 15 inches on fold for each side. And then for a full flare, I'm going to further fold it again into 4. So this means that my fabric is folded into 4 by 15 inches. You can see 15 inches here and 15 inches here. I hope you understand how I got my folds. Okay, so I have 15 inches here now and 15 inches here. The next thing I need to do now is to start taking my measurements. And to take my measurements, I'll take the measurement of my radius. Remember, my radius is 6.5. okay, so I'm just trying to remove the paper here. Okay, so my radius is 6.5 inches. So now using my chalk, I'm going to be marking 6.5 inches from my origin here round. So I mark 6.5. just pay attention to this, it's very simple to get. Sorry. So I'm marking 6.5 inches round. And then after that, I'm going to connect it. Remember, this 6.5 inches is including extra for me to pleat this. So after marking my radius down, the next thing is to mark my length, which is 8 inches. So from where I have my radius, I'm going to mark my 8 inches length here. So I can either mark it like this, or I mark 14.5 round from the origin. So I'm marking 14.5 round from the origin. So by the time I remove 14.5, by the time I remove 6 inches, which is my radius from 14.5, I'll be left with the actual 8 inches which I need for my flare. Okay, remember that I approximated it to 15. That is why I have an excess of ½ inch there. So I'm measuring my 14.5 round now. Okay, so I hope this chalk is feasible for us. So I have 14.5 round, and then I'm going to make that also into a curve. So up to this point now, what I've done here is just our regular way of making a peplum, no new thing. Okay, so now I have this. Now I can cut out my peplum. But to cut out your peplum, this is where the difference is. You look for the place that is opened into 4 like this. Okay, you can see we have fold point here completely, we have fold point here completely. So you just look for a place that you can open your fabric into 4, which is this side. So once you locate that, now you pick 1, 2 and 3, then you leave the last one. Okay, I hope you understand what I'm doing. Once you locate where you can open it up completely, you pick 1, 2, 3. Once you pick it up, you try to raise it like this, and then you cut out your shape that you did for just the 3 of them. You won't include the 4th one. Okay, you cut out this shape for just 3. Okay, so now I have this. I've cut out my shape for 3, and I have this as my 4th one. So you can also cut out your radius. So I hope you understand it up to this point. So I have 1, 2, 3 for my 8 inches, and I left this, which is what I'll be using to form my asymmetric. So now to form my asymmetric, this is going to be my center front. So I'll be putting this on fold now, and then I'm going to notch it so that I can get my center front. Once I get that, I'm going to take my ruler and then draw a line from this center front up to this V point that I have here. Okay, from where I notch, which is my center front, I'm going to draw a straight line to meet this point here. So using my ruler, so it's just like dividing this 4th part that I did not cut into 2. So now I'm dividing it into 2 by marking a straight line. Okay, so after marking my straight line, now I can now cut out my other part. Okay, so I'll cut out one part of the 2. Remember, I've divided it into 2, so I need just one part for my asymmetric. So now the other part, I'm going to be cutting it out now to meet up where I stopped, and then I'm going to cut this. So you can either cut this completely or you cut it the way I'm cutting it. So I have this now, and then once I open this up, remember I said this part is going to be my center front. So this is what my peplum is looking like. Okay, so you can repeat this if you are going to be cutting it off completely. This notch that we have for the center front, you are going to repeat it here, and then you cut it off. Let me turn it to the right side so that we will see what this is looking like. So this is the center front here. Your notch should help you to locate your center front. So this is the center front. This is our peplum of 8 inches length. You can see the 8 inches just continue like that. Only on the asymmetric part is where we have this elongation. Okay, so like I said, you can either cut out your elongation completely and then rejoin it back, but it is not compulsory. That is if you want. You can cut this completely now and then you take it to the sewing machine and sew it back, or you can just leave it like this and then use this to cut exactly the same thing for your lining, so that you can neatly turn this in. Okay, so I have this now. The next thing now is just for me to pleat. Remember, I added 10 inches allowance, so wherever I want my pleats to be, I'll start to pleat them now, and then I'll sew it, then I'll take it to the mannequin so that we can see what we have. But you can also slash open your center back because of zipper. Remember, I have a notch here, so this is the notch for my center front and this is the notch for my center back. So now for my center back, I can easily fold it and then slash it open so that my zipper can go through it. You can see how very simple it is to cut this asymmetric peplum. So this is the long part of it, which is the elongation. Further explanation, this is my actual length. Remember I said it's 8 inches. So this is the center back, which I've slashed open, and this is the center front here, which has one side as the asymmetric part and then the other side, which is the actual 8 inches peplum. So like I said, if you want, you can slash this open completely and join it back, or you can just leave it like this and then place this the same way I placed this like this. You place this on your lining and then use this to cut out your lining so that I can use it to touch. I'm just going to go over and pleat it where I want to pleat it so that I can get my 30 inches back. Remember, my actual waist measurement is 30 inches, but I added 10 inches to it to make it, so you can see I have around 21 inches. So I added 10 inches to this to make it 40, because remember my actual radius was supposed to be 6.4, but I approximated it to 6.4. That was why I have this extra 1 inch. So now the next thing to do is to pleat this round to our actual waist measurement, which is 30 inches, which is what I'll be doing now, and then I'll take it to the mannequin so that we will see what the asymmetric peplum is looking like. Okay, so I've decided to iron stay on it so that it can stay well on the mannequin. So I just placed the stay exactly the way the fabric is, and then I traced out and cut. So if you are going to be adding lining to this is the same way you're going to be doing it. I'll just put this up on the mannequin so that we can see what it looks like. Okay, so this is the peplum on our mannequin. You can see the asymmetric part of the peplum, and we just maintained our 8 inches all round like that up to where our asymmetric is. And you can see that it is really simple to make, and it is beginner friendly. So if you're to be adding a lining to this, like I said, you just need to place it the same way we cut out the stay, and then you place it like that and then use it to turn out your lining. And you can also open it up completely at the center front if that is what you want. So I hope you understand this video. Let us know in the comment section if this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.